All right, we continue our week-long look at the SMART Fortwo. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our videos. We're posting pretty much every day. Right now, it's time to take you inside the SMART, and let me show you the interior of this crazy little car. Part of it is crazy. The interior part is crazy, for sure. But let's start over here. There's some buttons down here on the side. Let me show you those first. These buttons right here, this one here is for the hatch. You can open the back glass. We'll look in there in a little bit. Then there's a whole set of buttons. As you can tell, this car is missing some of the features, doesn't have all the features, but it has buttons there. And of course, there's an airbag there towards the bottom. If I move over here to the door, I have the door handle. And then I've got my window controls. Let me just close the door. We can look at that now. I've got my door control, my window controls right here. And then this one right here controls the windows. So I can turn it this way to control the driver's window as I adjust it. And I can turn it the other direction to adjust the other window. So I have the windows there. I'm gonna go ahead and open this, get some more air coming inside. Let's move over to the air vents as we're talking about the air conditioning. The air vents are strange, kind of strange in this one. So if you look at these air vents, they are big open gaps. Now deep inside, you can see that there's a honeycomb pattern in there, something to block them out. But I don't know how you would, but you could put your fingers or drop something in there and they would roll quite a ways down. I don't know how you would get anything out if it was to drop inside. If I move over here to the center, I've got two air vents here. As you can tell, they are big gaps as well. The mesh, the screen's not until you go further inside. And then I've got one over here. So inside we have 1, 2, 3, and then right here is number 4. So air vent wise, it's plenty of air vents. It does cool the car off. There's not a lot of space here to cool off, but it does cool the car off pretty well. I'm gonna move over here so we can look to the center. We have the speedometer. I don't know if I can totally get inside there. Well, I'll make you sick if I do that. We have the speedometer there. You can see it goes to 120 on the dash. And then the rest of it is the center screen. The only two lights or the turn signals, and there's some warning lights that'll pop up, but everything else is screen related. Now, right here, I'm not gonna turn the screen on at the moment because the car is extremely loud when it's running. But this allows you to go through the menus. There's different menu options there, and you can select. Your cruise control options are down here on the bottom. I can turn it off, turn it on, I can cancel it. If I slide over here, this is how I set my speed, reduce my speed, and then also as resume. The center of the steering wheel has, of course, the horn and an airbag. And then this is if I have my phone connected, I can do volume up, volume down, and also connect so I can speak and tell the car to call somebody if I need them to call. Now, moving over to the center console. So this is a 2017. In 2018, cars were required to have backup cameras. This car does not have a backup camera, which makes it pretty difficult because it's got some blind spots on the sides. We'll do another video on that and show it. So this here is the center console, so I wanted to show it. It's pretty much standard. It's a radio. You have, you can set 6 channels. You've got where you can go back and forth, especially when you have your phone connected, to go through here. You have your standard volume controls, radio, media, you can mute it, do setup, and your telephone and that. And then you have a USB charging port here. And then over here, you've got a regular audio port. Now in this little gap right here, this is strange. It's so strange. I was staring at it, trying to figure out what is that and why would you have that and what does that do? And then I'm like, it looks like you dial it and it does turn. And when you pull it off, there's another USB charging port inside, which is weird. It's really weird. So you would probably want to leave it off all the time because these are the only 2 built-in USB charging ports are here and here. There is in the center, I'll show you in a second, where you can plug in a charger, like a cigarette lighter type charger. But those are the only 2 parts. So, but if you leave that off, it's not attractive really. So that causes an issue. Now I will say, as we look at this car, there's not a lot of storage areas or places to put items. You're gonna see that. There is a tiny shelf right here above. I don't know if you can see that okay, but hopefully right there above the glove box. So you can have something plugged in here and then put it over there in that spot. It's not super convenient. The car's not really set to have phones sitting anywhere, but put that back. That's how it sits right there, and you've got that. Now we come down to the air conditioner controls. This is a little bizarre. Okay, so here's what we've got on the air conditioner controls. This is speed up or speed down, speed up for the fan. This is your AC button, your off button, your auto button. This is your mode button. Do you want it on your feet? Do you want it up here on your face? This is, of course, defrost and face. This is rear defroster. This is recirculating, and then this is max defroster. Sorry, I've got a dog going nuts over here. Anyway, sorry about that. Okay, so we've got all of that going on. But to change the temperature, you slide this over. As you can see, there's a magnifying glass in there. So you slide it over. So there's 76, there's 80, there's super hot. And then you slide it all the way back. It's a bizarre temperature. It takes up an amazing, look how much space that takes up when this could just be a dial and the speeds could be a dial. I like buttons, but it seems like we're utilizing a lot of real estate for something that could be done really, really easily and I think better. So it's kind of strange. Also, I have my Whataburger cup here in Texas. If I put my Whataburger cup right there in that cup holder, I can't even see the air conditioner, the climate controls. If I move it over here, got the same issue, you know, can't see it there. So if I'm driving and I have my large Whataburger cup there, I'm gonna have to take it out, probably hold it, and then adjust the AC, which is kind of frustrating. Now up here, I'm gonna show you up here on top of the dash, this way up here, that is how you lock the doors and the hazard lights. So we have two bizarre USB ports, this gigantic AC control, climate control system. It just seems like this area here could have been reworked better, that we could have included more USB ports here, lock the doors from down here, maybe the hazards from here, and not have to throw them all the way up, because if you look, it is way up there on the dash, which is very strange. Now coming down here, this is your economy and sport mode, so you can switch back and forth. You know, I've been driving the car for a few days. It's a little different, but not enough to say one way or the other. This is your gear shift. You pull it back. You can also switch it over, so you can, you know, tap it up to go to shift up, down to shift back. Now, super important. This is one of the most important items of this car. You have to check it out. I think you can fit 2 quarters in there. So if you're still going somewhere where they have toll roads, they do an automatic, then you're okay. You've got that covered. You can do it right there. Now, not a lot. So if you're looking here at the center consoles, we come back further. Here is the gear shift, or the emergency brake. And then as it turns around, there is one cup holder back here, which you have to be careful with not to just kill with your elbow when you're driving. And then right here, you could plug in. Right there, you can plug in for a charger as well. So you've got that. So we'll close that. Now moving over, I'm going to show you here on the passenger seat. This is how you move the seats frontwards and backwards. Got the same thing happening over here. I can move the seat frontwards and backwards with that. On the side, let's see if we can shoot over here and show you that. See if we can do it. There are two handles here. There's a handle there, and then there's another handle further up. These are what control lumbar support and then also help you as far as reclining the seat, leaning it back. Going over here more to the passenger side, we talked about this little shelf right here. This is a shelf where you can put items there, and you have a very small glove box. Now, they have put the owner's manual inside this glove box. It's not really where I think it goes. It has Velcro on the back, so it's supposed to stick behind the seats, but that's okay. And then moving over here, handle, you got your window control there. You've got a little storage pocket there. I put a bottle of water in there so you can see it. That's a small bottle, but you can stick it in there so you can actually see that okay. And then over here is a little secret cubby that you open that up, and then you've got some storage inside of there, which is actually pretty nice because there's not a lot of storage here, so you have that. And then you've got a cat right here. This is a netting, so you can use that for storage and put items there as well. Kind of rounds out as far as the front of the car. Now, if I come down here, here's an issue I have. The cup holders situation is not good as we look at that. You have a lot of real estate right here. This parking brake should be shifted over, could be closer, could be significantly smaller, and you could fit 2 cup holders here and here, which then would allow you to use this space differently and then not block the AC, the climate controls when you're trying to adjust those while you're driving, as far as when you have something, a drink there. Moving up, we're gonna go up here. Let's look at the top. This here is your lights. So this turns on the lights here. dome lights, and then your passenger seat has a light as well. And then this item here will show you if the airbag is on or off, depending upon who's there. If it is on, it shows a little symbol of a car seat, that you should not have somebody in the car seat, which is good. I'm gonna put this down, so I'm gonna block you. We have this here, so we have our mirror and our visor. This particular one does not light up. And then if we come over here to our passenger side, they have a mirror as well, but not a light up. Now, here's strange. I'm looking at this. I'm used to these being handles to hold on to, so if you're scared of whoever's driving, and if you're in a smart car, that might be the thing that happens. What do we have here? It's not a handle, because it pops down, and then you can't, there's no way to hold it. I believe, looking up in there, is a sunglass holder. That is the only explanation I can have. This looks like the nose piece, and these little items here are soft, so I believe you have sunglass holders there. Looking backwards, we're gonna look back, and we're gonna take a look at it here in just a second. You do have another netting system that's behind us here that you can store something in, and then a nice little cover that goes over the back. We're gonna look at the back. Okay, so now we're gonna look at the back of the car. It has a cool little windshield wiper right here. It's got the light on the back. We're gonna talk more about exterior on another day. This is more the interior. To open the back, push this button, the glass pops up. There we go, all right. And then you lift this little handle right here, and then with that lifted, boom, now you can see into the back. It has a nice little cover, so that if you don't want people looking in to see exactly what you have in the back of your smart car, which I don't exactly know how they would, it's so kind of blocked off. But what you can do to open it is right here. You just grab, you pull, it's gonna line up on those sides, and then it'll retract all of 3 inches, I think, into that, so it hides it. Now you've got this area here. This is the cargo area. The engine is actually underneath here. Not going to open it at the moment, but that's where the engine is. And then you have this nice fabric here, which will keep anything from sliding forward and going forward into the cabin. We have a light back here, so we can see what's happening. You've got speakers. Now, I was noticing in this car a lot of little scratches here. I don't know if you can see those, and down here, and I'm like, I wonder what that is. Well, to remove this, you pull these, but they don't recline very far. They don't push in very far. So it's really hard to get those to come out, and I can see that you would actually probably scrape the car just a little bit to make that happen. Now, down here on the tailgate, it says that it can hold up to 220 pounds, so I am not I'm not going to sit on it, but it holds up to 220 pounds. If you pull this and open it, there's more storage here. So now you have more storage here in the car. Now, on the convertible versions, on the cabriolets, when you roll down the top, you could take off the side panels, and what I mean by side rails actually are these areas right here. These areas of the car would actually come off. You could pull those off, and then they would fit into this storage area here, and that's where you would store those. But this is the hard top, so it doesn't have that, so then we lock that back up. But that gives you the interior space, and it's actually pretty tall, of the Smart Fortwo. That is pretty much the interior of the Smart. There's not a lot here. I think the frustrating part for me, you buy this car because it's unique. You buy it because it's different. You're not buying it for fuel economy, for usability, functionality, or versatile. You're just buying it because it's different. It seems like to me, with advances they have done, and especially in the RV world of making things fold out, do stuff, crazy things, that they didn't make the interior have a few more little bizarre hidden. The little thing hiding down here under the, let me show you that again. That little storage shelf right there, I think that's cool. But then to not really have anything else in the car, I don't know. It seems like we missed a point that we could have done some more. All right, so that's the interior of the Smart car. Bizarre, strange. Areas could have been improved on. Space could have been used better. But that is it. I'm going to head back out. I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to talk about this later, but these blind spots are insane.